Hello, my name is Alwin Ramirez. I'm the project manager for the proposed Acushnet Bridge Replacement Project, which will be presented today. I work in the Major Projects section at the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, Highway Division, headquartered in Boston. The project design team consists of Rich Manson, District 5 Project Development Reviewer, Gerald Dougherty, MassDOT Community Compliance Officer, Rick Hebert from T.Y. Lin International. Due to COVID-19 precautions, this pre-recorded presentation will replace our usual design public hearing. During this presentation, we will explain the purpose of the hearing, provide an overview of the right-of-way procedures, and explain the design. Finally, we will explain how you can submit your comments and questions about the project, many of which can be included in the official transcript. A hearing handout has been prepared and posted to the MassDOT website, along with this presentation. If you would like to pause this recording and retrieve that handout now, you will find documentation which may be useful in understanding the project and submitting formal comments in response to this presentation. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an assured method whereby the Commonwealth of Massachusetts can furnish to the public information concerning the state's highway construction proposals, and to afford every interested resident of the area an opportunity to be heard. At the same time, the hearings afford the Commonwealth an additional opportunity to receive information from the local sources, which would be of value to the state in making the final decisions to what the design should be advanced for development. Gerald Dougherty will now explain the right-of-way procedure. Mr. Dougherty, good morning.
Good morning, Alwin, and thank you very much. When the Commonwealth, acting through its Massachusetts Department of Transportation Highway Division, indicated it would accept this project for funding, your town accepted certain responsibilities. One of those responsibilities is to acquire all the necessary rights in private and public lands for the design, construction, and implementation of this project. My function is to review and recommend procedures that your town will use in acquiring these rights. The procedures must comply with both state and federal regulations. The current design plan indicates that there are 2 permanent easements and 7 temporary easements required. The property owners contacted by your town officials. They will present the proposed impacts to each owner and discuss the methods with which they may acquire the needed rights for the project. Frequently, municipalities will appeal for donations to minimize the acquisition cost for your community. However, donations are not required, and property owners are entitled to an appraisal, review appraisal, and just compensation. Right-of-way documents will be provided to each owner to help them understand the acquisition process and how the project affects their property. Affected property owners' rights are protected under Mass General Law, Chapter 79, and because the project is receiving federal funds, the property owner's rights are further defined under Title III of the Real Property Acts of 1970 as amended. Thank you, Alwin, and I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, Gerald Dougherty. I appreciate it. Okay, one moment, please. Let's see. Moving forward, you will see that the notice of the hearing is included on page 2 of the handout. This notice appeared in the Advocate and the Standard Times on August 7, 2020. A copy of this notice will be attached in the final hearing transcript. The project presenting today is the Acushnet Bridge Replacement Project. The structures will replace the bridges that carry Hamlin Street over the Acushnet River. We are currently in the design stage. We estimate the total project cost to be approximately $4,500,000. The funding will be non-federal aid funding. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts is funding 100% of the construction costs. However, If federal funds become available in the future, this project must be programmed in the statewide transportation improvement program. An appropriate federal fiscal year in order for MassDOT to solicit bids for eventual construction. The total estimated cost of the project does not include any right-of-way acquisitions cost. The design is expected to be completed in spring of 2021, and the construction is anticipated to be completed within 2 years. As you may be aware, the reason for this project is the original structures were built in 1850 and are currently considered structurally deficient. Next, presentation over to Rick Hebert of T.Y. Lin International. He and his firm are the designers of this project. He will present the project and describe it in detail. Please keep in mind that the project we are presenting is still in the design stage. All your questions and comments will be taken into consideration when completing the project's design. Mr. Hebert, good morning.
Thank you, Alwyn. Welcome, everyone. As Alwyn Ramirez stated, my name is Rick Hebert with T.Y. Lin International. We are MassDOT's design consultants for this project. I hope this presentation will answer many of the questions you may have about the project. The project is located in southeast Acushnet. The existing crossing of the Acushnet River is comprised of 3 structures separated by approximately 280 feet. The easterly structure crosses the main channel of the Acushnet River. The other 2 structures are located in the west overbank area and provide relief for higher river flows. Hamlin Street is a local roadway that extends from Middle Road easterly to Main Street. Up until the mid-1980s, the area north of the roadway was known as Hamlin Pond. The shallow pond was retained by pre-existing weir structures that have since been removed. Development along Hamlin Street is suburban and residential. This project is needed to address existing structure and site issues. The issues include the existing structures are granite masonry slab spans from the 19th century. That Hamlin Street is a narrow 2-lane roadway without shoulders, generally 20 feet wide, edge of pavement to edge of pavement. The travelway width over the existing bridges is narrower than that and does not meet current standards. The westerly structure is above the design discharge flood elevation, but will help to provide and convey downstream flows above the discharge design elevation. At higher river discharges, the middle structure does convey overbank flow, and stones stacked at the entrance act as a weir and regulate downstream conveyance. There's a crack in one of the slab stones of the easterly bridge. This results in the bridge being load posted for just 3 tons, meaning the legal loads are restricted. For comparison, a modern design load is 36 tons. The surrounding area includes several significant site constraints. A historic site, White's Factory, abuts the southwest corner of the project. Public lands are located along the north side of the roadway and at the southeast approach corner. Extensive wetlands are located beyond the existing roadway embankment on both sides. A private drive entrance is located at the southeast approach corner of the project, and a small parking area with access to the river is located at the northeast approach corner. Goals for this project include determining the size and location of structures needed for hydraulic conveyance, providing a crossing that meets current load capacity standards, increasing the travelway width over the crossing, minimizing traffic disruption during construction, and minimizing impacts to environmental resources and adjacent properties. The scope of the project then includes removing and replacing the existing bridge structures, reconstructing approximately 530 feet of approach roadway near the existing alignment, widening the paved roadway and constructing retaining walls to minimize side slope impacts, and maintaining the appearance of the existing stone retaining walls along the south side of the road. This is a plan view of the construction, showing the proposed work limits and project features. North is up on this view, west is to the left, and east is to the right. The westerly structure, located near the left side of the plan, will be removed. The middle structure, located near the center of the plan, will be replaced. The easterly bridge over the main channel, located near the right side of the plan, will also be replaced. The paved roadway will be widened to 24 feet through the project length, and the project begins approximately 200 feet west of the existing westerly structure, a short distance beyond the current location of the White's factory parking area. And the project will end 100 feet east of the existing easterly bridge and just past the private drive entrance at the southeast approach corner. The 75% design for this project was completed in June of 2020. The current project milestone is this design public hearing. The bridge construction is anticipated to begin in the spring of 2022. An important public concern is always the impact to traffic during construction. For this project, a temporary roadway detour is planned. The road will be closed and the detour will be established via Middle Road to Belleville Ave to Main Street. A road closure duration of 16 months is estimated. This is a plan showing the proposed detour. North is up on this view. Middle Road intersects the west end of Hamlin Street. Belleville Ave extends between Middle Road and Main Street, and Main Street leads to the east end of Hamlin Street. The proposed project improvements include the replacement of the easterly bridge with a 42-foot span precast concrete deck beam bridge, the replacement of the middle bridge with an 8-foot span precast concrete box culvert, the removal of the westerly bridge, construction of 2 10-foot travel lanes with 2-foot shoulders, and the image shown on this slide is a cross-section of the proposed easterly bridge. This would be a view sliced through the structure perpendicular to the roadway. The replacement structures meet current load capacity standards. Design features such as the proposed roadway width and the use of retaining walls minimize resource impacts. The image shown here is a cross-section of the proposed middle bridge. This again is a view sliced through the structure perpendicular to the roadway. The project will widen the travelway to 24 feet. This image shows a typical cross-section of the proposed roadway between bridges, showing the retaining walls on both sides of the roadway. This again is a view sliced through the embankment perpendicular to the roadway. The proposed improvements provide replacement bridges that satisfy the hydraulic need, a crossing that meets all legal load standards, provides minimized impacts to wetlands and abutters, and minimizes traffic disruption during construction. The Massachusetts Environmental Policy Act Office, as well as the National Environmental Policy Act Office and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, have environmental permitting oversight on this project. A Mass DEP Section 401 water quality certification will be required. This provides water quality protection for the river. And a U.S. Army Corps Section 404 permit that deals with dredge, fill, and fill materials in waterways will also be required. The project must meet requirements of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act. This concludes my presentation of the proposed project, and I will hand the discussion back over to Mass DOT Project Manager Alwin Ramirez.
Thank you, Rick. Mr. Hebert from T. Wayland International. As stated previously, the purpose of this hearing is to solicit your input in regarding this project. As the plans are not yet complete, we may not be able to answer all your questions or respond to all your comments at this time. The last sheet of the handout is a mail-in sheet. If you have any questions or comments, which you would like to submit in writing, you may use this sheet. You may mail it into the department within 10 days of this date, and it will become part of the official. Also, follow the links on your screen to send us your comments or questions. Please remember to identify yourself by name and affiliation, whether you are an abutter, local official, or concerned citizen. Thank you very much for viewing this presentation. I would like to thank the members of our design team. We would look forward to hearing from you all. This virtual design public hearing is now reached its end.